Well, I thought I'd come out and have a bit of a poke around and see what Creswick looks like when it's wet. Getting an idea of how the rivers flow here, how much water movement you get down in the gullies. You can see here, this is the road just heading in to a little area that had a little bit of luck with. You can see there's a little bit of a river on the road, not much, but it'll be interesting to see what it looks like down in the bottom. So I'll turn it back on when we get down the bottom. Well, here we go. This is the first little gully we have to cross to get to the spot where I've been having a bit of luck. You can see here the road is starting to get a little bit wet, so I've got a bit of a puddle to go through. So yeah, no problem there. Oh well, that's interesting. This I'll just reverse back so I can have a look at this, if I can get a picture of it. It's a little bit too far back. I don't know if you can see down in here. You can see there's a bit of a river across the track there. That's give that another couple of days and she'll be quite a bit full. Here we go. First little bit of a hill. So this car, I've just upgraded the suspension and put some decent wheels on it, so it will be able to handle anything that comes across, really. Might be a bit easier to see with the lights off. There's a bit of a shelf here, sort of crossing the reef, and this sort of territory is really very good for this car. It loves it. There might be a different way in to this area, but nowhere near as fun. So this is pretty good. So there's basically 3 tracks that run parallel. That one at the bottom of the hill where I showed you where the water is. This one to the right here, which is part of the goldfields walking track. It's a marked track, and now we're heading down into an area. It's the Grey Horse Mines. So there's a couple of different mines in this area that have been very productive over the years, and with the burn, it's opened up a fair chunk of an area that's previously been full of prickles and everything else, so it just makes it just that little bit easier to get in there. I know the seasoned prospectors, they don't care, they just get in there and cut it down if they have to or whatever. So oh well, there you go, there's a gully there that's got water flowing in it, which is fantastic. It's very interesting. So here we go, we'll just head up this little bit of a hill. You can't appreciate how steep these hills can be, but yeah, this one's probably around about, I don't know, 20 degrees maybe. The car just does it. It's not a problem. Not even in I'm in 4-wheel drive, but not in locked 4-wheel drive. So it's just using traction control only, not the centre diff lock. It tends to just handle all this. These cars do have a bit of an issue with sand. It was just an oversight from Mitsubishi's point of view, I suppose. They didn't account for the fact that people want to drive on sand, and they never put in a program for that in their traction control. But the forums have come up, you know, all the people who log into the Pajero Club forums, they've worked out a way of bypassing the traction control when you're on sand, which seems to be the only negative aspect of these vehicles. Everything else of them really good. I put a full replacement suspension system made by Lovells, so extra heavy duty springs and Bilstein shockers, and it gave me a significant change in the way the car operates. It's bloody terrific. So I've got about 4.5 inches lift from where it was, and it's still within the specification. The tyres lined up nicely, everything worked well. So, you know, pretty happy with it. I'm looking at this area here, it's pretty wet, so I don't know if I'm going to hang around here. I'll give it 10 minutes and see if it's calms down, but if it doesn't, I will head off to the next place. But you can see here there's a fair bit of water on the ground and it's going to be pretty muddy, but the positive side of it is that all of the burnt area now will have all the ash and the topsoil washed off it, so it'll end up being quite attractive for the detectorist. You know, over the next coming months it'll be something else. So yes, so nearly where I want to be, and I'll leave it at that.